The city with a traveling man. With tears in her eyes, she said, "Is this really goodbye?" I said, "Across the borders of land."
Peace, Eon Fam. How y'all doing on this magnificent day? Hold up. Let me turn it. There we go. You see it. So, this is a topic in which I've been meaning to speak about in my own time. I spoke on it once though before, just in passing, but what I've learned so far sleeping on the ground. And I saw somebody send a post about this, and it just reminded me about this very interesting subject that we naturally should be sleeping on harder surfaces. It's been over a month I've been doing it now, and the things I've noticed are actually very uplifting as I was able to correct certain things in my spine I didn't even realize, right? This is basically how you can enhance your Kundalini energy, being able to have a more flexible spine, a spine in which has more strength now to truly induct all of that energy, you see me? But before we get into that, I'm gonna let you know how what my first night was. So the first night I slept, the first night that I slept on the ground, I had a very vivid dream. Right, this dream was about me. Basically, I was in a car at one point. I even saw one of my stones, the Moldavite, at the back seat, but I was like in some type of tussle, and it was me and some Europeans, this other person as well. But basically what happened was we kept going, you know, and we drove to a spot, but then as time would progress, we were in a scuffle for some reason, but it was really ego based. A lot of it was just based off of our ego, like we were just, I could pick up on that energy, whatever it was. But later on, I ended up actually going to a field, and I was running, right? Running my race. I was on a track and field, but I noticed I started to turn, and I started to curve, like I was going literally to my left side, right? It was shifting, curving in. And it became this, I noticed it was like a curve. It was a spiral, it became. So as I keep running, I'm like, what the hell is going on? I've never seen a track and field pitch like this before, until I went into a full 9, a circle. And I noticed when I got into the middle, it was a point. So I put, I believe it was my left foot into the point, right? My left foot. And I just felt this sensation of peace. I felt this sensation that I'd finally got to my destination, and I was waiting on somebody to mark me for some reason. It's not like your usual race where you just run into the end of the finish line. However, I was in the middle of the point, you know what I'm saying? And I have my left foot in there, and I just felt in the moment, and out of nowhere somebody knocks me out, and it's like that disturbance, right? I was at peace, like just not expecting anything. But it was an interesting dream. I mean, like, realistically, I see a lot of symbology in that. I wanted to actually talk about this in a live stream, but I'm just gonna say here that this dream was basically very prophetic, as I was running in a spiral, and that's talking about the 9 itself. The times are changing, are shifting into the age of knowing now. We can't go off of just these beliefs that we've so held on to, but we have to really trust the evolution, the evolution in things. So me just going through these vibrations, I realized now in hindsight that my left foot has a lot of relevance as well, and you can trace that back to Kemet, where they put their left foot talks about trampling evil. So I already know the energy that's backing me isn't having any tolerance to any type of low frequency. But I did notice when you become distracted, this is when you start to, get uncentered. A lot of that has to do with me being centered, that dream, me being centered in the spiral, and knowing your connection with the source. So as I keep going, I remember seeing somebody in the dreams, this woman, I'm trying to think though, a melanated woman, Moabite, you already know, but I can't remember what she said, but I think she was running another race or whatever. There was a lot of people there when I looked around, but then the dream just like I woke up after that. But I felt like that was confirmation as well that I was doing the right thing, continuing to sleep on the ground. One thing I will note though, I had to change the rug. I had to put a rug because my floor is really damp because I'm at the base of the floor, and it gets pretty cold, so the heat and the cold creates condensation, which caused my thing to become wet. So that's something you might want to note if your floors are cold, especially if you're like in a basement or sub-level. Is something to definitely note. But that dream was a eye opener for me as well. But as you go along, you'll be getting more dreams. A lot of people who may not have been dreaming, you might get some lucid dreams now because your spine is now supporting you. Your spine is strengthening you as your muscles can get to relax, and basically you don't feel tensed up. And that's something else I noticed as I was sleeping on my bed, and I was having a lot of issues sleeping because I would literally wake up. It's like a jolt of electricity because the more and more you're tapping in yourself, the more you're harnessing your natural bioelectricity, and that can it has both polarities, so it can get trapped in the bed, and literally I felt almost like my bed was holding me. So a lot of times too, when they have these forgot the name of it, where you're trying to wake up but you can't wake up and you feel like something's holding you, a lot of that has to do with you sleeping in the bed. A lot of that has to do with the fact that your spirit, your energy is literally trapped in the bed while you're in different states of consciousness, and you're fighting to break out of it. But a tip with that too is just you have to kind of surrender to the moment as well, if that makes sense. See if that works. But yeah, that's another interesting point because I haven't really had those experiences anymore too. That was more so last year. But the more and more I start to trust, the more and more you trust your intuition. I know for me that things may not fully make sense, but then in hindsight I'm like, oh, this makes perfect sense, and why I feel so much better, and why my health has improved, why my outlook on life has improved as well. I'm not focusing on things that don't serve me and negative things, but really looking and seeing all of the blessings that I have, and not counting the things that may not be going the way I like or I want. Right? So this definitely helps with spine misalignments. It helps to get you more deep, meaningful rest. As I said before, with the whole energy, the bed has a spring. Even if you're in a mattress that has you know, it's very soft, like one of those foam mattresses. You still are not sleeping on a hard surface that your spine can support you. So even putting a little comforter down or something, some type of thing to make it a little bit soft so it's not fully hard. It just depends on how you want to go about it. I definitely will tell you I've never been so flexible in my life. I literally can touch the ground with my palms. Like, you know, you touch your toes. I started noticing that. I didn't even realize it was because of that. Like, I just got super flexible now. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. You already know. You already know the vibes. But, yeah, realistically, I'm just finding that it's gonna help as well with exercising, doing running laps, doing things that as those as well. Doing any type of physical activity, it should improve. Another thing I notice is that I can get better quality rest in a shorter amount of time now. It doesn't take me how many hours to get a good. I could probably even sleep for maybe 5 to 6 hours, and I'm good. Like, I could feel fully rested. But one thing I know, I have to. I'm gradually going back to a state in which I'm going to sleep at a good time, like around 9 or 10. But I'm getting there, you know, just in time. But other than that, like, yeah, you should try it out, see if it works for you, see if this is something that is beneficial. Other than that, peace, stay on tempo, easy.
Mind elevation. Can't let more